Okay, this review should help you with part 7 of your summer assignment. This is really straightforward. We're just going to talk about the main sections of the periodic table and characteristics of the elements that are found in those particular sections. I do want to make sure that you note, I know that you had a little bit of this on your assignment, that if you are anything on the outer half of the periodic table, groups 1 and 2, groups 13 through 18, you are considered a main block element. If you are in the middle, the transition metals, and then the lanthanides and actinides, you are not considered a main block element. All right, so alkali metals are in your group 1. They are the most reactive set of metals. They are super soft. They can be cut with a knife because they are so reactive. We have to store them under kerosene or oil for safety reasons. They react extremely violently with water and acids. When they are combined with water, they replace the hydrogen in water to make hydrogen gas and a tremendous amount of heat. And they make positive 1 ions because they have 1 valence electron, and they will give that one up whenever possible to be more stable. Your alkaline earth metals are very similar to your alkali metals. They are found in group 2, and they do react fairly strongly, but not as reactive as the alkali metals. And because they have 2 valence electrons, they make ions that have a +2 charge. The transition metals are in that middle part of your periodic table. The majority of your transition metals do make colored solutions and colored compounds. There are some transition metals that only have 1 oxidation state, and so they tend to remain colorless in solution, such as zinc and silver. There is only 1 metal that is not a solid at room temperature, and that is mercury. It is a liquid. Because they have electrons placed, or their outermost electrons are placed in the d sublevel, or I guess not their outermost, their last electrons are placed in that d sublevel. They have lots of places for the electrons to move, and therefore they can make multiple ions, and that's part of the reason I needed you to learn some different charges for your summer assignment. There are several transition metals that are extremely stable, and that's part of the reason we use them for jewelry and silverware and in our coins. So we're going to move over from the metals to the non-metals. We're going to talk about the halogens in group 17. These elements have 7 valence electrons, and so they are 1 shy of being in the same electronic state as a noble gas. So they are extremely reactive. They are often found as diatomic when they are in elemental form. So they're only found as diatomic in elemental form because they want to get that 8th electron that they're looking for, so they share with each other. It is the only group on the periodic table that has elements in all 3 states of matter. Fluorine and chlorine at the top are gases. Bromine is a liquid. That's the only nonmetal that's a liquid. And then iodine and acetine are solids. The nonmetals do not follow as set of a pattern as the metals. There are quite a few gases. There is bromine as a liquid, and then we do have a few that are solids. Because they want to gain 1 electron to be stable, they make ions that have a -1 charge. All right, and then finally we have our noble gases. They have a full set of valence electrons, so they have very little interest in making bonds with other elements. So they are in group 18. They are your least reactive nonmetals. Very little. It's going to take something like fluorine to come along to force it to make a compound, but that does not happen very often at all. And they are colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Monatomic, so that means that we find them as just He as opposed to what we just saw with the halogens as F2. Okay, so I just wanted to briefly review these groups with you because I know you have some questions on this with your summer assignment.